Anywho, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Wrestle Your Neighbor Morning Show podcast. My name's Trey. I'm here with Evan.
We're no longer numbering episodes because it's too confusing.
It's too difficult. We'll do it in the link. We won't say it out loud.
Yeah.
But this is episode 15.
Yeah,
just to say that. Today is our top 3, top 5 episode, top whatever we want to talk about.
Usually 3
and
or 5.
And today we are going to be talking about movie trilogies, which Evan and I are a big fan of movies.
Trillies.
We love a good movie, and I would say that we both love a good trilogy. But instead of us both coming up with our own top 3, we're gonna work together to figure out a group consensus top 3 trilogy of all time. And I have some opinions, and I'm sure that Evan does. Please let us know what your top 3 trilogies would be of all time. And we will tell you if you're wrong or not. But for the conversation, I feel like, in my opinion, Dark Knight and potentially Lord of the Rings have to be in there.
Well, I think Lord of the Rings 100% yes is
okay.
100 Lord of the Rings that was going to be the first one, I would say.
I can wholeheartedly agree with that.
Not The Hobbit.
I love not The Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, the real Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Peter Jackson. Lord of the Rings.
What is your favorite Lord of the Rings film?
Probably You know, it's been a little while since I've seen them, but I'm going to go with, I think, Return of the King.
Okay. Yeah.
I think. I remember really liking Two Towers as well.
Two Towers would be my favorite.
Yeah, really they're all good, but I think Return of the King.
I was talking to a friend a weekend ago, and we were talking about the greatest trilogy. And I personally, my favorite trilogy of all time is the Batman trilogy, but I
agree. That would also be there for me, though. So I think that we also have that.
Right. So it's subject to, opinions, because some people think Batman Begins is kind of it's not that great, but it's an origin story. You gotta learn some things. It's all that stuff. Sure. I was talking to a friend this past week, and he was like, "You're gonna put Dark Knight above Lord of the Rings?" And I said, "Yeah, I would." And he was like, "You're gonna put whatever Batman says against "You shall not pass," which is an epic line.
Yeah.
And an epic scene. But I still would put it above.
That was in the first one.
Yeah.
Fellowship.
So what your favorite though? So we already have 2.
Yeah.
We have 2 trilogies already, which would mean that we have Lord of the Rings and we have Dark Knight. What's your favorite Dark Knight movie?
I would say not Dark Knight. That the Dark Knight is the second movie in the trilogy. So
correct.
It's the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
Yes.
Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. My favorite, it's the Dark Knight.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
It's the Dark Knight. And I know you've already said it's the Dark Knight Rises for you.
I love that movie. I love the Dark Knight. I think, I'll say this. If I had to choose one to watch over and over and over again, I probably would choose the original Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight?
Yes.
Not Batman Begins?
No.
The Dark Knight.
Like the first Dark Knight. So Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So obviously Batman Begins, and then you have Dark Knight, and then you have Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises is probably my favorite movie, but it takes me to a place.
Oh, what kind of place does it take you to?
It's like the Joker plays with you mentally.
Okay, he's in the Dark Knight.
In the Dark Knight, yes. The Joker plays with you mentally, and it's like you are going to have to be evil to beat him.
Sure.
Bane plays with you mentally, but he also has the ability to break you down physically. Yeah. And that is fearful for me.
Physically.
The physical and mental side of breaking a person down is that to me is more terrifying than just the psyche part of it. But I love the Dark Knight, but Dark Knight Rises is one of my all-time favorite movies.
I got you. What do you like so much about the Two Towers?
So obviously the big fight scene is big time. I I think Two Towers, reason why I like that movie so much.
And that's at, which one is that? Is that the one where Gandalf comes
Ooh, gosh.
down from the top of the hill with
I don't want to be wrong.
the cavalry?
I think so. It's the big one. It's the big fight scene.
The biggest one is in the third movie.
It's the second movie. It's the second movie that I'm thinking of, which is Towers.
Is it dark or is it light outside?
It is light outside.
Are there ghosts?
There are ghosts.
That's the third movie.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure that's the third movie. I must not be thinking of
the right scene then. I'm thinking of the second movie, which is Towers. I know that is my favorite fight scene.
I feel like...
But maybe we just need to watch these movies because I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
But Twin Towers is probably my favorite movie. But, yeah. What is your favorite of them?
I like Return of the King. Because it's that giant fight scene.
The one you're referring to.
The front of the castle.
Yes.
Where they have the elephants and all of that stuff in the field. And then, like, they have to go, like, get the ghosts. And, like, they have to come and help.
That's not my favorite fight scene.
Once they come, and, like, completely wipes everybody out. Yeah. I think you're talking about the other one I was talking about, where Gandalf comes and saves the day.
Yes.
The white, not the gray, the white. But I just really like that sequence.
So, question for you though: you would put, as a fan of Lord of the Rings, do you believe that it is necessary to have those long walk scenes?
Well, here's what I think about that. I think that if you are in New Zealand filming this movie,
take as much
you might as well take advantage of the scenery, baby.
Gotcha.
Because it's everywhere and it's beautiful. Like, why not do it? They're doing a new. Did you know they're doing a new show?
The TV show, yeah.
It's going to be the most expensive TV show ever. Like, that's the actual. It's legit. It's like going to cost the most amount of money, I think.
And it's all about. What is this show about again?
I think it's about what happened before the
story,
the original trilogy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened before?
So we got to figure out this third one though.
Okay.
This third trilogy.
So we got Lord of the Rings.
We have Lord of the Rings.
We have the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
Sorry.
And then
throw some things out there. So I love the Matrix trilogy, but I think the first movie is great, and then everything else is kind of eh.
I like the second one.
I love Toy Story.
I would count that as a trilogy.
I would too, because the fourth one took so long to come out.
Yeah, I would count that as a trilogy.
Trying to think of other trilogies.
I'm trying to think of trilogies that are like.
You have Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good trilogy, but I can't get past that first trilogy. I can't get past like when it was made, and like you can tell when it's made.
I feel like it doesn't look the worst that it could possibly look. There are some Western trilogies.
I don't know that I've seen many Western trilogies.
It's like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is one movie in a trilogy. I don't think I've seen the other two though.
Well, then we can't talk about that.
I'm just throwing things at the wall here.
What are other trilogies that I would know of? There's Shrek.
Shrek? That's a pretty good trilogy. I like Shrek.
Shrek is good.
Carly loves Shrek.
I know. Would you consider Nemo a trilogy?
Because I haven't seen.
You have Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
1 and 2, right? No. It's just 2.
There's just
Nemo
one.
and Finding Dory.
Yeah, I've never seen Finding Dory.
Whoa.
Am I supposed to know what that is?
Dory.
It sounds like a whale. Oh.
Yep.
Well, there you go. I'm trying to think of like trilogies.
I don't feel like there's really that many that
people would have seen. There are 2 that I'm thinking of that I just feel like nobody has seen.
What are the 2?
The Before trilogy.
I have not seen that.
There's the Left Behind trilogy. You know what I mean?
I know exactly
Never seen
what that
it?
is. I've seen that.
Oh, you have seen
I have seen the Left Behind trilogy.
What other trilogies?
So
there's The Hobbit, which I'm not that excited about.
I'm very indifferent too.
Yeah, I'm just not that excited about it. Dirty Harry, I think. Oh, no. I've got it.
What?
I just want to bask in this moment for a second. Test 1 2. Indiana Jones.
Oh my.
That's it.
Gosh.
That's the other one. I mean, there are more than 3, but the 4th one and subsequent, now there's going to be a 5th one. They've happened so long after the original trilogy.
You know how much I just don't like Indiana Jones.
I don't know that.
You knew this.
I don't understand why someone would not like Indiana Jones.
It's just not good.
You're insane.
Also, okay.
You're crazy, dude.
So can we throw... I have 2 more that I want to throw out there.
Go ahead.
I want to throw out the first 3 Mission Impossibles and the first 3 Bourne movies.
Not a trilogy. Bourne is a trilogy.
Bourne?
Yeah, but Mission Impossible, I don't feel like you can consider a trilogy.
Dang it.
Because you just can't.
I think Bourne is better than National... No, it's not National Treasure that you're referring to.
Man, if that was a trilogy, you better believe I'd be hopping on.
So... Gosh, I hate that you love Indiana Jones so much.
You think Indiana Jones is bad?
I just don't see.
Tell me, convince me that Indiana Jones is bad. Go.
Convince me, make me see what value it brings to film.
Okay. So,
okay.
So, first of all,
created by George Lucas, directed by Steven Spielberg. George Lucas, obviously, a legend, an icon, created Star Wars and the characters. Some things about this is easy. Go ahead. If you want to go there, go ahead. Keep going. First of all, Harrison Ford comes in as like Harrison Ford. What? He's great. Yeah, he's phenomenal. So Steven Spielberg made this movie. They created this character. This is source material. It's not a book. It's not a comic. It's not a graphic novel. They created these characters. They said, it's in there. This is a character that we're going to create. Tell me another character. There are countless characters based off of or inspired by Indiana Jones. Those movies have inspired years of filmmaking. They incorporate fiction into real historical events, which is really smart and cool. It's really intelligent. We had, what's his name? He was 007. Sean Connery is in the 3rd one, and Harrison Ford and Sean Connery's chemistry is awesome. You get to see Nazis get beat up and get outsmarted at every turn by Harrison Ford and Sean Connery, which is always welcome on the screen. What else can I say?
Can I disclose to you something?
yeah, go ahead. You've never seen him.
I've never seen these
Yeah,
movies.
I know. You do that sort of thing where you're like, oh, this is bad, and you've never even seen it. Food, this is bad. You've never even tried it. It's the same. You do it. I know you do.
I just didn't ever see the value in these movies.
They're made by legendary filmmakers and legendary actors are in these movies.
I get it. I just, my upbringing would never have led me to watch Indiana Jones.
I wanted to be Indiana Jones so bad whenever I was little.
I know, but you had a lifestyle in which you were at least a little bit pushed towards Indiana Jones.
I wanted to have a bullwhip and be able to swing from it so bad.
I'm actually shocked that you didn't have a bullwhip.
I had a whip, but it wasn't a bullwhip.
It wasn't the same.
We had
I had a friend
horse.
in college who had a bullwhip, and it was pretty crazy.
He could crack it.
He could crack it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We're not putting Indiana Jones in there though.
You having this idea that like
I'll say
Indiana
this.
Jones isn't good, and
I will watch
explain to
it.
me why.
I will watch it.
The fact that you just said that to me, I hate that. That you were like, tell me why it's good. I'm bluffing about how it that I don't have opinions about it.
You also love National Treasure.
There's good reasons for that too.
There are not as many. I think you've made a valid point about Indiana Jones.
National Treasure blends theatrics and fiction with real historical events. That's
with
fascinating.
some of the worst acting ever.
It's whimsical, okay?
You know what? Because of your great explanation of Indiana Jones, I will watch the trilogy in which you were.
I didn't even get that far in.
You did, because I actually didn't know that it was. I do love George Lucas and Spielberg. And
obviously
so
not that much.
Because of that,
Or
I
you
will
know
give it a
some
watch.
of their most iconic films.
I will give it
Raiders.
a watch. Huh?
Raiders.
I will watch it. I will watch the first 3. I'll watch the first one, and then I'll decide if I'm going to watch the rest of them.
Okay.
That's a promise.
You know, the second one, no one's going to walk out and say, that the second movie is the greatest movie that's ever been made. Okay? Nobody's going to walk out and say that.
This is the kind of stuff right here, which makes me wonder, why would I even give it a time of day? Like, you literally just spent...
Not every movie can be the greatest thing you've ever seen, okay?
No one walks out of the second one and is like, that was really good.
The second one has some moments that are enjoyable.
Some moments.
You know?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Okay.
Not everything can be the greatest masterpiece you've ever seen in your life. Sometimes things are just okay.
So we have
And
the
sometimes
Batman
things
trilogy.
have issues, you know?
We have the Batman trilogy. We have the Lord of the Rings. We need one final one, and it cannot be Indiana Jones.
Well, why don't you...
I go Matrix.
I'm fine with that.
I go Matrix.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Because the first Matrix I would put up against any of the trilogies.
The first film.
Yes. The best film of any of the films, I'd put the first Matrix up there with any of them.
It maybe has the best first film of any trilogy.
Yes.
That we've talked about.
So that would be my opinion.
The Matrix is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's so cool about The Matrix?
Tell us.
Is that, again, we talk about this idea of like inventing things, like things not coming from source material, where it's like they dreamt up The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote that.
Crazy.
Like, they came up with it. They created it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like whenever you went to go see The Matrix, whenever it came out,
Right.
I heard another director talking about this, going to see The Matrix for the first time. No one, the way they did like the marketing and the trailer and everything, they didn't really give anything away for what was going on in the movie.
Right.
So everybody was there with the same understanding that we don't know what is going on in this.
Mm-hmm.
We're here discovering this together, which is something that doesn't happen
That would be
anymore.
very fascinating.
That doesn't happen
What
anymore.
movie did I recently watch that I felt this way? Oh, I just went and saw, when I saw Dune, I had no understanding of what it was or anything. And I was sitting in that for the first 45 minutes, like, what in the world am I watching?
What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
That's the best feeling when you're like,
it really is.
You're so plugged into a story, you're just like, what's going to happen
So
next?
we have Matrix, we have Batman, and we have Lord of the Rings. I think that's a really great top three. And I want to blow your mind with this orca fact before we get out of here.
Let's do it.
Okay. Orcas are not whales.
I said this the other day.
They're actually large dolphins.
Okay, I didn't know that second part, but the first part, the first part, I knew because the other day I was like, I said to myself, whales.
These
are
are not
not
whales.
Killer whales are not whales.
These are not whales.
And I said, whales are whales and killer whales are not. But I don't know why.
Yeah.
I also don't know why I went into this country accent.
I don't know why you did either, taking yourself back to growing up, huh? All I have to say about this is that they're dolphins.
I didn't know they were giant killer dolphins.
Which is why it's interesting that they're giant dolphins, because dolphins are actually the only animal that sharks fear.
See, now why do sharks fear dolphins?
Because dolphins to me are like the kryptonite to Superman.
This isn't a real answer to my question that I just posed.
So I think I think they're smarter. I think dolphins are smarter than them, than sharks. I think sharks are like it almost seems like a one-track mind, like where dolphins dolphins have the capability of like outsmarting you.
They want to have relationships, dolphins.
Well, they do legit have relationships. It's pretty fascinating. So, anywho, that's my orca fact.
They're giant dolphins.
That they're giant dolphins.
They're more closely related to dolphins than they are whales.
They're not related to whales at all.
So we really should never call them killer whales.
No, they're just big, so we call them a whale.
It would be more accurate if we called them killer dolphins.
Correct.
Which is arguably a
way better
cooler name. Killer dolphins?
dolphin.
Are you kidding me?
What if the Miami Dolphins mascot was actually an orca? Craziness. The show's ending, but that would be amazing. Remember, do not wrestle your neighbor.
Your neighbor.
We'll see you later.
Bye.